So this is the start of our deliberate practice sessions. So this is going to be a 30-minute block that we're going to do every single week to work on our swing mechanics, incorporate it with the fitness that we're doing. So the first thing we want to work on is make sure that we have a good consistent setup every time we address the ball with all of our different clubs. So starting with our drivers, we're going to go into our irons and then our setup for our chipping. So when we do our deliberate practice, no matter how long we've been doing it for, we always want to start off with working on our setup for the first few minutes at least. So we're going to have our alignment sticks down. So if you don't have alignment sticks, you can just use golf clubs on the ground. But we want to have one down for our target line and then one coming down this way for our ball position. So always starting off this way. Now, when it comes to setup with our driver, a couple of things that we want to look at. One is going to be our posture. We want to make sure that we have a nice neutral posture, that we're not rounded over at the top, we're not arched in that low back. So for this, I have a mirror right here. So I put that down towards the target line, or you can put it behind you as well too. Just somewhere so that once you're set up, you're able to look and see yourself visually in that mirror. That really gives us that good visual feedback that allows us to know that, like, okay, we're set up in the right position, or we have to make some small adjustments there. So it's really key to have that handy as well too. So the way that our setup's going to work here, we want to take our driver, we're just going to place it in behind the ball. Now with our driver and our woods, we're going to have that ball is going to be just on the inside of our lead foot here, okay? For our stance width, for our drivers, we want it so that the inside of our heels here are just on the outside of our hips. So if we drew a straight line down, right, between there, that we'd be right on the outside of those hips. Okay. From there, we want to do a nice little balance. We want to make sure that we're nice and balanced. We're just going to rock back and forth from heel to toe. Okay. Find that nice neutral in the middle. So we're nice and balanced. And then we're just going to slightly hinge forward from the waist there, keeping that nice neutral low back, right? So all that's going to look like is we're right here. We don't want to be rounded over at the top, and we don't want to have that big as posture, right? So again, using that mirror for that visual, right? We're nice and tall. Our shoulders will pull back. To get that neutral low back, what I like to do is arch, and then we're going to round, arch, and then find that neutral in between. Now our core is nice and engaged that we want for that shot as well too. So again, coming back in, right, ball position there, just slightly wider than hip width apart, that inside of our heel, just a slight tip forward, arch that low back, round, arch, neutral. We can do our little rock. Again, find that nice and balanced. And then we just want to make sure that we're just slightly tipped back away so that we can hit up on the ball a little bit easier. Our hand is just going to kind of just touch that knee, okay? And then we're going to be in our nice setup here. So we want to practice this again and again and again until we can't get it wrong. I want you to step back away from that and then come back in and just go through that routine again and again and just till it feels natural. So I just want to show you that setup position here from kind of down the line as well too. You can see my mirror here just behind me so that we can see that. So again, taking our club, we're just going to set that so that our face angle is lined up with the ball, in line with our target. Ball's just on the inside of our lead foot. Stance width, we're just outside that hip width apart. We're going to do that nice little rock back and forth, right? Find that nice neutral, that nice balanced. Tip forward at the waist just a little bit, just soft knees. We don't want a big bend to the knee here, right? We got that neutral spine so we're not hunched over. And then we're going to arch the low back, round the low back, arch, find that neutral, okay? Little slight tip away right there. And then you can just have a look at yourself visually in that mirror. Make sure you're in that right setup position. Again, step back out of it, practice it. Every deliberate practice session that you do from now on, we're going to start with even a few minutes of this setup position.